Talk 101, and this Mommy Moment segment is going to be about the afterbirth. Now, I'm looking at my baby. She's doing some freaky stuff in there. What are you doing, Mama? Okay, the afterbirth. Like I stated in my labor and delivery video, I didn't get a chance to see Jada till a few hours after because she was up in ICU. Now, I felt off the placenta and all that stuff push out, and it was disgusting. I believe, I'm not sure if I ripped or they had to do an incision in me. I'm not really sure, but I believe that I ripped, and I swole so bad. I mean, if I looked down there, it looked like a bunch of 2 apples just sitting. Like, that's how swollen I was. My labia was swollen because they had to, you know, sew me up because I tore so bad. So a few hours passed, and what's your matter? What's your matter? Oh, what's your matter? What's your matter, baby? Hey, mama. So a few hours passed, and okay, I'm gonna get back to this. I'm gonna pull it down so you guys can see Jada. So a few hours passed, and they took out my epidural, and I was completely swollen to where I couldn't even walk. So I'm in the bed, y'all. She's like, "You ready to go see Jada?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm ready to go see her." And when she's in ICU, no one could see her. Like, only people that could see her was the parents and the grandparents. So my mom and everybody else already saw her. So I'm just like, damn, can I go see my baby? So the lady was like, the nurse said, I'm laying in the bed, you guys. The nurse said, "Okay, I want you to lift up your right leg." Y'all, I'm lifting my right leg up, but it ain't moving. I'm literally feeling me lift my leg up. It wasn't moving. I'm like, oh my God, my leg paralyzed. Like, I was just regretful. Like, why did I get the epidural? My leg ain't gonna work no more. I'm just tripping. And she was like, "It's fine. Don't worry. It's just a part of the epidural. It has to ease out your body." So they put me in a wheelchair and took me up to see Jada. And when the first time I went to go see her, I was crying because I didn't like her being up in the ICU. And then it was just a very touchy moment for me, because not only I've been pregnant with this girl for 9 months, I really get to sit there and look in her eyes and see, oh, this is my baby. Like, I was just crying the whole time. People was looking at me like, oh, I was just crying for real. But after that, I went back downstairs and, you know, trying to recover. I'm sore, completely sore. What they did was, y'all, I'm about to show y'all. I'm getting one of Jada diapers. Now, being that my labia was swollen, they tried to put a catheter inside me so that I wouldn't have to get up, because I already can't walk. So they wanted to do a catheter. I was so swollen and so tender and sore down there, they couldn't even put the catheter in. So I had to literally call the nurse, get help to get me up to go to the bathroom. And then they had these ice packs where they took like these diapers like this, and they insert ice inside of here, where you know, when the baby pee, whatever soaks up the pee, like they would put ice in there, and I would have to put that like a pad right in there, ice, and have to wear it all day. You talking about uncomfortable? It was so uncomfortable. Like, my back was in pain. I had a heating pad on, and I mean, I was so miserable. I couldn't move. I didn't feel like talking, and people wanted to visit me. I just wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the mood because I was in so much pain. They kept giving me Vicodins. They was giving me Motrin every other hour. I'm a person that don't take pills at all. I hate pills. It was hard enough for me to already take my prenatals, but I didn't want to take it. So I had to, though. They made me take the pills, and it did help, but the pain sucked. The pain really did suck. I'm trying to make sure to see if I got time. The pain sucked. But after that, they gave me medication where I had to use Tux. It's like these little wet pads that's circular like this. You gotta put some cream on it and put it in your anal area because I had hemorrhoids. I was all messed up down there, y'all. Literally. Tucks, and then I had to take sitz baths. If you all don't know what sitz baths is, it's basically like this little tub you sit inside and you put warm water in and you sit there for 10 or for 15 minutes to help soak your swollen area, your vaginal area down there. And I had to, whenever I went to the bathroom, I had to take a water bottle. Just imagine this lotion bottle, water bottle. I'd take a water bottle, and whenever I pee, I had to squirt water while I'm peeing. It was just awful. Like, I was going through, I even used a hospital. A hospital had like these clothy kind of disposable underwear. I use their underwear. I ain't wearing my underwear because I'm not about to mess up my stuff. So I mean, they kept refilling it whenever I needed it. I used their underwear, their towels, everything. I couldn't even take a shower. I was so in pain. But I did take a shower. The nurses helped me, and it was just, oh, the afterbirth is so ridiculous. But like I said in my other video, I was ordering like I was so pregnant. I mean, they had so much stuff, and you could order as much as you want. I mean, they had a certain limit of how many calories you could order, but the limit was so high, I don't think anybody would order more than what their limit was. You can order up to 5 or 6 times a day, and then they had this pantry that was down the hall that you can go to. I was in there. But for the most part, I was going to see Jada. I went to go see her probably like every other hour, every 2 hours. Because you can go, whenever your baby's in ICU, you can go up to see them whenever you want. So I started pumping breast milk, being that I couldn't breastfeed her first. So her first actual feeding wasn't through breast milk because she was in ICU. But I began to start pumping. They gave me a pump in the hospital. And I would go up there and bring her my breast milk, and they would feed it to her, and it was just like, oh, I love it. And then also when she was in ICU, I would go up and try breastfeeding her myself. And they had, you know, this is my mom, I'm gonna call her right back. They had women that were, you know, that specialize in breastfeeding and lactation consultants, because you know it is hard for your baby to latch on. This is something new for your baby, but my baby did really good latching on to the breast, so I was very pleased. But other than that, the afterbirth was hell. It still is. It still is. The weight loss, luckily I did lose my weight because I breastfed for 2 months, and I'm so happy that I did that. But I have stretch marks now. I still have a pudge. I'm still trying to get rid of my stretch marks. Like, I'm just so through. I got stretch marks the last 3 weeks of pregnancy. The last 3 weeks of pregnancy, I got stretch marks. And I'm so through. I was so through. And like right now, I have carpal tunnel in my right hand. I have tendonitis in my left hand. All from little one right here. All of that. Because you do repetitive things with your hands. I do a lot of multitasking, and that's how I put a lot of stress on my hands and my tendons in my arm, and that's how I got tendonitis. I don't know how in the hell I got carpal tunnel. I'm so mad about that. I wake up and my hand is completely numb. Like, no lie, my right hand is completely numb. And I mean, it's a hard recovery. Postpartum, I don't believe I really dealt with postpartum that much. There was some episodes when I did have some outbursts of just crying for no reason. Postpartum don't last that long, but I was always so busy and I had people around. It kind of didn't flare up as worse as other cases. Postpartum, not that bad. Bringing Jada home was scary because she actually stayed in ICU. I had Jada on Monday. On a Monday, she was discharged. I was discharged on a Wednesday. Jada didn't come home till Sunday. So leaving my baby at the hospital broke my heart. I mean, I cried on the way home. I cried every day. Mind you all, this is during finals week for me, so I need to prepare to take my finals. I couldn't do it. I was so miserable. But at the same time, I think it was God's plan for me to do that, for them to hold her, just because, honestly, you all, I was still in school. I had a few more weeks until graduation. I really was not prepared to bring a baby home. I had everything set up. Mentally, I wasn't prepared. I told y'all in my last video I was crying. You know, I was crying and everything, but I wasn't mentally ready. But when Jada came home that Sunday, I was ready, and My mama came up and stayed with me for a few days. She was like, you a great mom. You got everything. I was marking down how many wet diapers and dirty diapers she had, her feedings at what time. Like, I had everything down. But, that's pretty much it. My timer just went off. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to also post up your video responses. I will greatly appreciate that on your afterbirth and your intake on that. So if you have any other questions, be sure to let me know. And me and Jada will talk to you later.